message to President Xi as it relates to the Iran war?
Well, I think, number one, we're going to have a long talk about it.
They are the largest state sponsor of terrorism, and China has been financing them with their energy purchases.
This is important to keep in mind. China is the enemy. China will try and subvert the United States. In China's perfect world, the United States ceases to be a significant superpower, and they get to implement their ideology on the world. Let's get to President Trump. He's going to be spending some time in China with the Chinese. And by the way, this is what I think a lot of these moves, we've talked about this, have been made with the express they're sort of always top of mind, China. When you look at Iran, you look at Venezuela, you look at Canada, you look at Greenland, all of them have one thing in common, and that is the Chinese. So he is going to be having a meeting. It hasn't taken place right now. There aren't that many developments as of this moment, but there are 4 things that we believe or people are planning to be discussed. And there's some speculation and our thoughts. Here you go. Here's a setup clip. I forgot what it is.
This looks like a larger crowd than what I saw from 2017 for his arrival. And again, look, President Xi knows what President Trump wants. He knows that he wants a show. And he is getting one. I mean, you can see right there the coordination with the flag. It's not just 300 Chinese youths. They have a coordinated flag movement with
and
American
in this moment,
and Chinese
Kristen,
flags there.
let's just pause.
So
Let's
we'll
just
wait and see if he
listen in and everyone take in this moment.
Was that lady wearing the Vans checkered off the wall skirt pattern? Mm-hmm. So some eyebrows have been raised, and I would say rightfully so. Those who are joining him on his trip are all very much on the pro-Chinese bandwagon. Elon Musk, obviously, Tesla. Larry Fink, Tim Cook, Tim Apple, as he referred to him.
That's right.
Jensen Huang, NVIDIA, Brian Sykes. Marco Rubio rocking a new look. So that's kind of cool. He's kind of the one outlier.
Bro, did ask.
It's exhausted dad chic.
It is, yeah.
There's even a movie regarding this trip in the works.
Yeah. China.
So
that looks fun.
The negotiation is going to be taking place, and let me just sort of lay out for you what are viewed as the leverage points against the United States and China. Against the United States, right? They're occupied right now, pretty busy in Iran, and the perceptions therein, the economic headwinds directly attached to Iran in many ways, and that they're going into midterms, right? So China is aware of that. They're going to probably be using that. On the other side of this equation, China, will probably be recognized by this administration as they have trade, energy instability due to Iran, right? They're far more reliant on it. They have some serious economic problems. And domestically, there's a lot of unrest and a lot of apathy, and the Chinese citizens are not that happy with what's going on. So yesterday, the Chinese embassy put out 4 red lines that must not be challenged. The Taiwan question.
No, you got to read it like them.
The Taiwan question, the democracy and human rights. Don't you just love how they're like, okay, we'll sit down and we'll dish tea, but off limits are human rights.
Off limits anything bad we do.
Yeah, off limits.
Don't talk about my misfortune.
Well, look, I wasn't going to talk about it, but the fact that you say it's off limits makes me think you're violating human rights. No. Off limits because of perfect.
No need to improve.
Yeah, no need to look over there. Let's talk about chips. Ricardo Montalban. So the Taiwan question, democracy, human rights, paths and political systems, the development rights of China, the things that actually matter because they want to act like they have a leg to stand on. Yeah. Now, I will say this. I don't like the group of people who are going, and I don't like some of what I'm hearing. But President Trump historically has usually struck a tone. This is the carrot phase, right? Before spending time with China, talking about how he has a good relationship, but there has been no president harder on China as a matter of policy than Donald Trump. So there's the carrot and there's the stick.
I thought it was an amazing meeting. He's a great leader of a very powerful, very strong country, China. I look forward to seeing President Xi. I've always had, his wife is fantastic. He's an amazing guy. And I've always had a great relationship, President Xi of China. Thank you very much. It's a great honor to be with a friend of mine, really for a long time now, if you think about it. The very, very distinguished and respected President of China.
All right, so for those of you who are Rumble Premium members, we're going to go through the 4 things to watch and the latest installment. It's time for good Trump, bad Trump.
Good Trump. That's a really bad Trump.
All right, 4 things to watch. First is when people are talking about investment. I don't like, again, this is just hearsay, so I don't like discussing events or topics where it's merely speculation, because we really don't know what's going to come of this. But I know that this is at the top of the news right now, and so I will try and call it as I see it. I don't like, if any of it, this is assuming that any of this is true. And I can tell you that New York Times is saying this is likely true, but I don't trust the New York Times. So what does that mean? Pretty much absolutely nothing. So according to, granted, more conservative economists at New York Times, Trump may be on the verge of tying the United States to China irrevocably. It's always hard when you read it and say it. So Mr. Trump and Xi Jinping are reportedly considering a deal to allow China to invest $1 trillion in the United States, largely to build factories on American soil. No.
Bad Trump.
Everyone's a little slow today. I was like, no. Yeah, let's get the. Okay, I'll do it again. American soil. No.
Bad Trump.
That's what.
There we go.
Oh, I hope Billy the Kid doesn't expect human rights.
Love it. No, that's a really bad idea.
That's horrible.
There are countries we can work with on projects like that. If they're making products that they're being sold in the United States, it might as well be made here, invest here, right?
Yeah.
China's not one of them.
No, and we'll also not to mention what China does when they're allowed to purchase American soil. I don't think they should be allowed to. We need to be clear about them being a foreign enemy.
No. Put factory on America.
That's right. Wait. Did you say factory or faggotry?
Factory.
Oh, make them more faggots.
Well,
just send over more weed. Make them passive and rubber cock.
A good president.
Isn't that funny when they're like, yeah, export all the weed, do all the grow farms, but we're not going to allow it in China.
no. Why would you?
Then they're like,
They don't allow TikTok.
I know.
It's
Like,
like,
it's a great company.
Oh, great. Watch a feminist on TikTok tell you how to bind your tits. Not in China.
Americans so foolish with all their luxury.
That's right. Oh, your decadence.
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 That's such a funny word in that accent.
And Huang's inclusion here also would seem to, people are speculating, Trump may be discussing the sale of high-tech NVIDIA chips to China. I will say it.
That's a really bad Trump.
Don't give them they're going to steal tech anyway. Don't give it to them. Make them work for it.
Do you think you should not sell them any chips at all from NVIDIA, or just not the
I wouldn't.
edge? No chips at all?
I wouldn't.
I think
Make them do it. Make them do it themselves. Why?
They are.
Why? It's like giving prisoners weights.
I mean, they're going to do it anyway. Why give them a shortcut?
Well, no. So there is a good argument to be made that there's some good move that you can make here that will keep them perpetually behind you, right? So right now they're selling them H200s, which is usually about 18 months behind. So they do that so that money comes to the United States, gets reinvested into R&D here. It also keeps them kind of dependent on the American AI stack. Now, that's at least the idea behind it. Yeah. I understand people saying, no, they don't want to do that. But then there's the other thing that they have to contend with is that China has us by the balls when it comes to robotics. If we want to advance in robotics, we will have to use Chinese companies to do it right now. Now, we should be working to improve our capabilities here, but that's not going to happen overnight. And we're going to get to this phase very quickly where we need some help in doing this. So I understand it's the devil that we don't want to work with, and we have to be very careful. But I understand that they can't just shut everything off. At the same time, they don't want to empower Huawei.
No. Can't shut everything off. But how about shut off your mouth, Benedict Gerald? Come on! Benedict Gerald, horn the sauce.
Let me help. I hate the CCP. I hate China. I hate the... Oh, come on!
Oh, yeah, good point. We really hate the CCP.
That's right.
Say that one again.
Yeah, say it again. Very good. Thank you for it. Very good for us. We should give him PR money.
Oh, my gosh.
Still a dick. Hey, how's NVIDIA's stock doing? Is it down?
I don't
No,
think so.
dude,
No, it's not.
it's like one of the
most
best performing-
I
valuable
bet you was
company
about to
other
go
than Google.
up as Gerald is on a campaign trail for China.
I am not. I'm simply just. Oh, come on! Every time I go to describe it.
You know, Gerald, you would look really good in red.
That's right. That's right.
Put on red shirt.
No.
I'm going to
Not
send
gonna
you
do it.
autograph little red book.
I hate it. I don't like any of
Little
it.
red book.
I don't want
Book.
them to do
you,
this.
Don't you
Just
love
saying.
a book? You read.
I do.
You love a book. Book.
He said he loves stars and stripes, but he really loves stars and half moon.
That's right. By the way, I was doing chicken.
I
I
got
call
it.
you chicken.
Yeah, I got
you
it.
Benedict Arnold, but also chicken.
See what I have to deal with? I'm not.
Oh, I hope your libertarianism very worthwhile to betray
I'm
your
not
country.
a libertarian. And I don't like China.
We have a nice house picked up for you, Gerald, in
I'm trying to
Taiwan.
keep them behind
That's right.
us.
Big house in Taiwan. Don't talk about it.
No talk. Oh, okay.
Rumble Wallet. Keep your crypto safe, even when you are at your most vulnerable.
Hey, how'd you get in here? Go! Stop recording me.
Do it for social. Go to wallet.rumble.com to download the Rumble Wallet today. No banks, no fees, no middlemen, just your money and now your crypto in one secure, easy-to-use place. Get started today. Number two, another point that they'll probably be discussing, imprisoned dissidents. Now, I'll tell you this. You're going to watch this clip, how it starts. You're going to go, President Trump might do that thing where he says something that he shouldn't say, but he actually handles it really well and ties it all together.
I bring up Jimmy Lai. Now, Jimmy Lai, he caused a lot of bedlam. I don't know. It's like saying to me, if Comey ever went to jail, would you let him out? That's
Careful.
Might be a hard
But here he
one for
goes.
me. Does that make sense? It might be a hard one, because he's a dirty cop. But Jimmy Lai isn't that way. But Jimmy Lai, he caused lots of turmoil for China. He tried to do the right thing. He wasn't successful, went to jail, and people would like him out, and I'd like to see him get out too. So I'll bring him up again. I have brought him up. There's another gentleman, a pastor, as you know, with a beautiful daughter and son-in-law that would like to see him get out.
Yeah, and just to be clear, unlike simply lying and fabricating narratives and stories out of thin air like Comey, when we're talking about that, Jimmy Lai was a founder of the anti-communist Chinese party paper Apple Daily, and the pastor he mentioned, Ezra Jin, was a pastor of one of the biggest Protestant churches that would, out of necessity, have to be underground in China, and the father of a United States citizen. So this right here, him talking about that and framing it that way, hats off to him.
Good Trump.
And I think it's important to note, this is exactly why people like Hassan Piker and those on the left love China. They support, they ultimately, they won't say it because they'll say they care about freedom, but it's good for their cause for pastors to be jailed. It's good for their cause for people here in the United States who'll talk about freedom of the press, but for the same reason they defended the Castros, right? You can go back and see all of these leftists, whether it's Fonda, whether it's Rotolo, praising the Castro regime who would jail dissidents. They don't actually want dissidents to be allowed in communist governments because that would be exposing the failures of communism. So it's right in line with Hassan Piker and those of you telling, or those on TikTok telling you that, hey, China's doing great because they have a couple of trains.
Right.
The other thing that'll probably be discussed, Iran, before leaving, President Trump said that she had been, and this is him kind of dangling the carrot where I think he's trying to speak, this is speculation, speak Xi Jinping to where he wants him to be on Iran.
What is your message to President Xi as it relates to the Iran war?
Well, I think, number one, we're going to have a long talk about it. I think he's been relatively good, to be honest with you. You look at the blockade, no problems. They get a lot of their oil from that area. We've had no problem, and he's been a friend of mine. He's been somebody that we get along with. And I think you're going to see that good things are going to happen. This is going to be a very exciting trip. A lot of good things are going to happen.
Do you think he needs to intervene at all with the Iranians?
I don't
do you think he
does,
can help
no.
in any way?
No, I don't think we need any help with Iran. We'll win it one way or the other.
And so this one, I'll give it a less good.
Less good Trump.
because it could go either way. He's kind of saying like, right, look, no, we don't need them to get involved. As a matter of fact, we don't want you to do anything stupid, Xi. Right? He's doing that. And they both have some shared interests here where obviously we would like to end this conflict as soon as possible. And so would China. That being said, they have been propping up Iran. They haven't been all good. They've been using refineries to refine some sanctioned Iran oil, for example, to basically kind of bypass this. And I should say Scott Besson specifically discussed this, I think it was just last week.
He said Iran cannot have a nuclear weapon. They have to turn over their nuclear, their enriched uranium. He's wiped out their Air Force, wiped out their Navy, wiped out their factories, but that they are the largest state sponsor of terrorism, and China has been financing them with their energy purchases, and we've been encouraging them not to.
Now, I would say that's well said in principle, but not well said in practice. Did you notice that odd gurgling?
They have to turn over their nuclear.
Well, sorry, a little semen there. Just
you meant phlegm, sir, right?
Correct. You know what? As long as he keeps it in the bedroom and out of our treasury, I don't care. Now, they also, by the way, China have been supplying Iran with some air defense systems, things like that, drone technology. So they haven't been all good. But I can also understand why China would need to do something at that point if they think this is going to go on. It doesn't mean that it's right. They've aligned with the wrong people. And there may be a meeting of the minds that can take place here where it's like, look, it's in both of our interests to deal with this rogue actor. Do you guys want to come along here? And that's why there's a carrot and there's a stick. We're speculating on a lot of this. And I will tell you, President Trump, say what you want about him, he is a much more experienced negotiator than arguably anyone on earth alive today. He's been doing it for a very, very long time. He's very good at it. And so I don't pretend to know exactly what he hopes to yield from this. But I'm willing to bet that he has a plan, and historically he's done pretty well and certainly been much firmer on China than anyone else. The other topic, of course, Taiwan. There are some concerns that President Trump is going to concede on Taiwan issues to secure these deals with China. That obviously would be a less good Trump.
Less good Trump.
Also, violation of don't talk about Taiwan.
That's right.
It's true.
Don't ask, don't tell. Not we don't ask, you don't tell. Just don't ask and nobody tell.
Hi, who?
Who? You Thailand? We don't care about Thailand. Formerly Siam. That's the only Thai.
Yeah, this is Taiwan. I have Thai 2, Thai 3, Thai 4 in the closet.
That's right. Is that what you mean when you say Taiwan? I say Thai 2.
I hate you both for this.
No, you add to it.
I can't. This is why I hate you.
Sometimes when someone say Taiwan, I say bless you. Because it's Taiwan. Oh, it's not a word. You just make sound. Because it's not a word that exists.
Diabetes, because you're fat.
Yeah, exactly. And here's the thing. There's Taiwan, though, again, there's some room there, wiggle room, because it has been ambiguous as a matter of policy. But we know what China wants to do. We saw what happened during COVID with the WHO and the CDC. We know the stranglehold that China has on a lot of international information. See TikTok. But I do think this is important to keep in mind. China is the enemy. China will try and subvert the United States. In China's perfect world, the United States ceases to be a significant superpower, and they get to implement their ideology on the world. That's what they want. Our two views are not aligned. You can see it through policy. You can see it through treatment of citizens. You can see it through treatment, specifically freedom of religion, freedom of speech, the right to self-defense, diametrically opposed. And we've seen some results. For example, we covered this, obviously, the Oklahoma, do we have the trailer? The Oklahoma Chinese grow farms, the marijuana grow farms.
I think they're linking it in the description.
Okay, we're going to link that in the description. We should have the trailer. We could bring it up for people who missed it.
And I don't really have time for journalism, so please leave me alone.
Their primary goals is, one, acquire as much U.S. land as you can, and number two, gather as much and collect U.S. currency as possible.
President Xi has publicly stated that the West is declining and China is ascending. It was foisted upon us by, again, to some degree, and by some I mean all degree, the communist Chinese government.
They had 60 greenhouses and they put one family per greenhouse to run it. Each family had a 10 by 10 room.
This was a special that we did. And then, of course, it became a national topic after that, where they don't allow weed in China for their citizens because they think that it slows you, it makes you lazy and dumb, whether you agree with them or not. They don't think that it's good for their citizens. It's not a productive drug. But they will export it, and they will buy up our land, and they will commit, not arguably, flat out fraudulent financial practices in order to buy this up and flood the American market with cheap Chinese weed. And we don't want to allow more of that. If you were to go back historically and look at any nation with an adversary and tell them, hey, how do you feel about your adversary buying land in your borders?
Yeah.
They would have hung you.
Not just the buying land part. It's the other part that you said. It's like, okay, we're going to do something subversive to them. It's just like the TikTok playbook. Like, we need to understand that China is in a different game than we have been playing for a very long time. And we have to get in that game. And Donald Trump, more than any other president, this goes back to the wins of Donald Trump, more than any other president, understands the threat and has taken steps to mitigate the threat. Not everything perfect, not everything I would do potentially, but he has done more than anybody else. And a country coming in and growing weight, it's like, yeah, what can we do to subvert their culture? What can we do to make them dumber, slower, less focused on productive output as a country? Oh, weed farms. Fantastic. They've legalized marijuana in a number of places. Let's just use it against them.
Right.
Why would you ever allow that?
Right. Yeah, and here's the other thing, too, is, look, I think that and I understand, this idea of just the old stoner, the pothead, that's not necessarily true. You have plenty of people who are CEOs, high-functioning individuals,
for sure,
who use it as a tool similar to how people use alcohol. I think the more science that we're actually seeing come in now, we know how harmful it is to the developing brain, young people, in a way unique to a drug stored in fat. I think we know that it is not without consequence. It doesn't mean that it's the most harmful drug on earth, and it doesn't mean that it should be scheduled alongside heroin. But I think that, okay, people can use it responsibly. There are people I know who do use it responsibly, and it doesn't negatively impact their life. But if you had an interest, you could very easily sway people and push them into using it irresponsibly.
Yeah.
You know, for example, someone taking a gummy to sleep, or because they're dealing with chronic nerve pain and it might help them, or a cancer patient with appetite issues, or someone who just wants to unwind and eat a meal, go to bed at the end of the day so they can recover. That's very different from billboards saying wake and bake.
Yeah.
And people smoking in their car, and people smoking in parks, and people numbing themselves from basic human interactions and not experiencing life because they're in a perpetual haze. We've seen that. That was a big push for a while. We can't say the same about alcohol.
Right.
No one says, wake up and drink a fifth of Jack. You have a problem. Everyone recognizes you have a problem.
We built this country on whiskey. Come on.
Yeah, we did.
We kept going.
Pretty much. And it's amazing the tolerance you develop when you do it with great regularity. You just got to pump up those numbers. And do we have the teaser or the trailer for the marijuana? Because I know we released that at one point.
Not yet. They could send it in if
okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
working on it.
Yeah, I'd like that, guys, if you guys could send it in. Otherwise, is there anything else, or we want to just go to chat?
I think chat. I mean, right now, sorry, I said that, but right now I saw on CNN, they were actually saying that there's kind of a developing story. Who knows what that really means? Speculation. That Donald Trump may push President Xi in to help open up the Strait of Hormuz and push Iran to a peace deal.
I thought you were going to say push into a pit of vipers.
I thought you were going to say push him on the third rail.
So I was hoping for push him down the stairs.
Yeah.
You know?
So, we go from, I don't really need China to do anything to, I think, kind of this process of, well, yeah, of course, like this is one of the big client states of Iran, the biggest. And so let's push them to push Iran to get this done, because it's hurting China.
Well, that's what I was saying. Yeah, there could be some shared interest there again if it's done sensibly and fairly. But yeah, I was hoping to be like, look here, I hear you guys are building show me your trains. How you go a very fast train? What's that down there? No, I'm not gonna trick me. Just picks them up and throws them. That's what he should do.
I hear you have a great wall.
Yeah,
I'm a bit of a wall builder myself. I'd like to see. Can you show me, please? Whoa, lean over.
It's a question. How obnoxious are the Mongolians?
Whoa, I see one there. Look down.
Yeah, China, this is always a problem they have, too, that eventually the moral decay, because people have just been allowed through the wall the 3 primary times that it's been penetrated. It's just like, hey, you throw them a fiber. They're like, okay, no skin off my nose.
So that's also, listen, I didn't want to say this yesterday because it was a very, very tangential point to this, but I'm like, yeah, I do want a border wall, and I think it's fantastic to get it in. And yes, it's better than just an executive order that can be overturned, but they have gates that need to be manned.
Right.
And so you can, maybe there is some deterrent to it, but if there are openings in this that are just left open or border port entries where you can just say I'm coming because I've been persecuted and let me roam the country for 8 to 9 years before I end up in court. We're right back where we started, and the wall doesn't do anything.
Right.
So it's a much more comprehensive solution than just having a wall.
You need all of the above.
Yes.
Yeah. Hey, do you like what you saw? I don't know how because it's on YouTube and we have to cut all the good parts out. So you should tune in live weekdays at 11 a.m. Eastern on Rumble, where we can still speak freely and even use words like and get and whoa. You've been here this whole time?
Yeah. Snuck in.